On January 31st, 2013, 30 days after the release of BFDIA 5A, an update video was released on the Jack and Jellyfy channel. In the video, it was revealed that BFDIA 5B was not going to be an episode, but a game instead, more specifically a puzzle platformer. While this wasn't their first foray into game making, it was the first time a game had replaced an episode of BFDI, and as of the end of 2023 they have not done this sort of thing again since. The game takes place inside of Evil Leafy, as at the end of BFDIA 5A, the Free Smart Supervan crashed into and got eaten by her. Starting out with 33 levels upon its release on February 11th, 2013, 17 more levels were added on February 19th. Then, only 3 more levels were added after that on February 25th for a total of 53 levels. But how do those levels play? The game starts with Book waking up wondering what's going on. She checks her journal entry, learns that she's inside Evil Leafy, and sets off to find the rest of Free Smart. The first few levels are just simple tutorial levels to get your bearings on how the game controls, using the arrow keys to move, the spacebar to jump, R to reset the level if you die or otherwise softlock yourself, the up key to pick up or throw things, down to set down an item, and Z to switch which character the player is in control of. Each level contains a win token as a collectible, but they are very difficult to find and obtain, and the only thing they do is turn the level select icon for the level they were found in green. I want to talk about the individual levels next, but there isn't really much to say about a good chunk of them, so I'm probably just going to discuss interesting ones or ones that are particularly difficult. The first level I struggled on was level 6, Landfill. What you have to do in that one is throw the boxes onto the spike pit in such a way that allows you to cross it, but I kept dying either by misjudging a jump or by not placing the boxes correctly. In level 7, I kept dying to the spike balls at the start because I started moving towards the pit either too early or too late during the spike balls cycle. Level 8 has you grab a box that keeps a button pushed down to open up the goal, but the spike balls along with that purple fella kept getting me because I wasn't timing the jumps right. You have to be pretty precise there, though it could just be that I'm not very good at games. Similar story with the buzzsaw at the beginning of level 9. There does seem to be a recurring pattern where it's the moving obstacles that give me the most trouble. On level 10 I kept not throwing the box far enough across the gap, because you need to be able to place it on the yellow platform to reach the goal. Level 11 is extremely short and uninteresting. The only reason I bring it up is that I should mention that every 10 or so levels, there's a letter of evil visible in the level. Level 1 had an E hanging from a tree, and this level has a V. Level 13 utilizes the fact that the boxes each have their own hitbox and the lack of gravity physics on them to make you create a ledge that extends way out so that you can reach the goal. Level 14 saw so many deaths on my part, and then there's that one jump that I kept bumping into the ceiling, and then I have to redo the treacherous part of the level again. Level 15 pairs moving spike balls with moving platforms, which doesn't sound too bad, until you have to move the opposite direction of the platform. Level 16 is a concept I really like, but you have to be very precise with your timing, otherwise you'll either jump too early and therefore not far enough, or you'll jump too late and bump into the side of the spike and then also not jump far enough. Level 18 is another interesting concept that makes heavy use of the fact that you can stand on the sides of spikes without dying. Level 19 introduces Match to the game and by extension, the ability to switch characters and having to bring 2 characters to the goal. Match is unique in that she has a slightly higher jump than Book does. I reset way too many times in this level by mistake because I kept mixing up which button did which, but level 20 and the next couple after that introduce things you can do with 2 characters, such as pick up each other, and that Match can fit through narrower gaps than Book, but that she can't fit through certain shorter gaps. Level 22 took me an unbelievable amount of tries to get down. First I had to jump with the zoomy ramp avoiding the spike ball, grab a box to press down the blue button, then press the green button down once it was unblocked, use the zoomy ramp again, stack the pillars on each other, which is hard because the pillars are heavy and don't go as high, ride a floating platform, which was by far the part I died the most times to, and finally switch the yellow lever before I could finally clear the stage. Level 23 was another short one, it just had some difficult to dodge spike balls and stars, but level 24 introduces a new mechanic, the Recovery Center, which can not only bring back characters who die, but also be used as a platform. Since it's split into the keyboard part and the part that spawns the recovered character, this leads to some interesting scenarios, such as in level 26, which has you drop the spawner half of the pit below the laser. It's around level 28 that the difficulty really starts to ramp up, at least in my opinion. The title of this one is pretty self-explanatory. Match has to step on and off of the yellow button so that Book can reach the recovery center. But I found the spike balls on the moving platform kinda difficult to time properly. Despite what I just said, level 29 wasn't that hard, just long. But level 30 I could not figure out what I was supposed to do for a bit. But after looking on the wiki, I learned that Match has to throw Book, when I'd been trying to use Book to throw Match. In level 31, those 3 spike balls in the top area are timed just right that it's extremely easy to die to them, and the yellow lever doesn't even help avoid them all that much. By level 34, these are starting to get kinda ridiculous. What you have to do is have Match grab Book, throw Book across the lava at the last second after jumping, avoid the spike balls yet again, then deal with the bouncy platforms at the end. Took me a good 10 minutes to finish, which is a lot for a platformer level. Level 35 was too much for me, I just could not make that jump. The main thing is that Match kept dying to the acid blobs, and I ended up giving up here. After this point, I'm using footage from the channel named on screen. The full walkthrough's in the description. Anyways, just looking at level 36 makes me know there's no way I would have figured out how to make it past that first part on my own, or any of the rest of it for that matter. Seriously, skimming through it they make it look easy, even though in the description they admit it wasn't. So I'm just gonna go on a lightning round with levels that introduce new mechanics. First, level 39 has slick platforms covered in just a little acid. In level 42, we finally find Ice Cube. After she laments her lack of arms, the trio escape from the factory they had been trapped in. She doesn't jump as high as Match or Book, but she is instead able to jump farther. Level 44 adds heating element obstacles that can cause the characters to burn up, and in level 46 we meet Toon and Waffle, probably the most iconic parts of this game. They aren't playable, but like Lego Brick they can be picked up and thrown about. Level 49 has swimming in it, and it reveals that crates float on the water and the metal boxes sink. I wonder what could be inside those boxes that's making them float. Just air maybe? Even the final level that actually got released, level 52, introduces a new mechanic and its giant spike wall, which essentially puts a soft timer on the level. I never really liked these kinds of levels to be honest, kinda like auto-scrollers. Back on the menu, it seems there were plans for 100 total levels, plus 33 more B levels that would have been rewards for collecting win tokens, but of course none of those levels ever release. What's up with that? According to the text on level 53, it says that the creator was very busy and that new levels would be added as they were made. There were plans to add a level creator and an explore mode, but those never happened. The only other update was on June 5th, which made level 29 easier, but made no other changes, and it got postponed indefinitely as BFDIA continued. Until that got postponed for 10 years as well. Despite this, it's still played to this day, with a fairly active speedrunning community, most notably Mr. Twister, the runner-up of TWOW, which may get its own video in the future. It also has had some people making mod packs for it, such as BFDIA 5*30, that adds a bunch of new levels and playable characters. And I think that's pretty much everything there is I want to say about this game. It's a good game, but it's really difficult, especially if you're like me and you're not good at games. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all next time.